Good evening. Just testing the field. Welcome to everybody to Athletica's Gentle Wave class. I thank you for joining me today. So it's about 6:30. We'll begin the class. As always, if you have any underlying medical issues or health concerns, please take advice from a healthcare professional before doing any kind of physical practice. This is a very gentle class that we'll be doing. Gratitude to Healthletica for creating this space. Welcome to our Healthletica members and anyone else, any other friends that might be joining today. My name is Afshan, and it's my honor to guide the practice today. Please practice at your own pace. If you have any injuries, be mindful and take your time to go into a posture, or completely omit a posture if it's not available to you today. And enjoy the practice. It's a gentle massage of your whole body. We'll use our different muscle parts, and we'll definitely connect to our breath, connect to our heart as we practice today together in cultivating some wellness. So let's begin by laying down in Shavasana on your mat. Shavasana is yours to take as is comfortable for you. So if laying flat on your back doesn't work, please bend your knees. You can butterfly your legs. Do whatever feels comfortable. Arms perhaps moving away from your body, palms facing up, your feet just melting towards the mat. So this is a space where you can start letting go of wherever you've come from and creating some mindfulness for the next hour to be present to your practice. So just start sinking in, letting your calves soften. Perhaps lift your hips up and connect your low back to the mat. Perhaps lift your heart up and connect the shoulder blades to the mat. Soften the arms, soften the face, the brow, the jaw, and just notice that your eyes are gently shut and you're letting go of all your thoughts. Starting to connect to your breath. With the inhale, let the belly rise. And with your exhale, let the belly fall back to the mat. So inhale through your nose, let the belly lift, the ribs lift, the chest expand. And exhale, let your chest go, your ribs, and your belly. So please continue that 3-part breath while you're laying there. And remembering that you can do your inhales through the nose and exhales can be through the nose or mouth, whatever works for you. Typically, we do our exhales through the nose, but if mouth breathing is preferable, totally fine. So keep softening into the mat, connecting to your breath, and you can set an intention for your practice. Perhaps send some energy to somebody in your life who might need it, or you can direct it inward to yourself. And I will also read a little wisdom today to focus that wisdom on our practice. And it is by the wise Pema Chodron, a Tibetan Buddhist nun. And she says, "There are no promises. When we are training in the art of peace, we are not given any promises that because of our noble intentions, everything will be okay. In fact, there are no promises of fruition at all. Instead, we are encouraged to simply look deeply at joy and sorrow, at laughing and crying, at hoping and fearing, at all that lives and dies. We learn that what truly heals is gratitude and tenderness." Perhaps taking that feeling of gratitude and being gentle with yourself, tender with yourself into your practice today, into our gentle wave class. So let's slowly start wiggling our fingers and toes to awaken ourselves to the mat. Perhaps you want to rotate your ankles and wrists gently to further awaken yourself. And small circles one way and then the other way. And let's take a nice full body stretch. Inhaling the arms high up above you, fingers and toes to opposite poles. Feel the thighs lift, the glutes tighten, and exhale, let it all go. Just soften right down, let your elbows soften, your thighs soften. Let's take another stretch. Inhaling, deep, deep stretch. Feel your back stretch out and exhale, letting that go. And then let's gently roll right over onto our right side, placing your head on your right extended arm like a pillow. Left hand gently goes to the mat. Close your eyes. Gently bend your knees in fetal restorative. Take a couple deep breaths here. Perhaps you feel your heart beating in your ear. And then gently use your left hand to help lift you up to come into a seated position facing me. And you can draw your hands down to your knees. And let's just close our eyes for a moment. Soften the shoulders down. Make sure you have a nice long spine. For those that don't find it comfortable to sit in cross-legged, by all means, extend your legs. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable. If you want to roll up your mat behind you to raise your seat or use a pillow so your knees come down, you can do that too. Or if you have a block at home, let's inhale through the nose and exhale, sigh it out. Let's inhale again, 3-part breath, belly lifts, ribs lift, chest expands, and exhale, release the chest, the ribs, the belly. One more, inhaling, expanding, feel your heart lift up, and exhale, releasing, letting go, softening. Let's open your eyes, draw your hands to heart center, thumbs pointing to the sternum. Inhale, the palms up, looking up. Exhale, sweep or swan dive your arms, hands coming back together at the heart, looking down. Again, inhaling, stretch your fingers up to the sky. Exhale, rounding back to heart center. Very nice. Let's just take a gentle seated twist before we go into our cat and cow. So drawing your hands to the right and slightly turning your head to perhaps look over your right shoulder if it's available, or you just gaze towards the diagonal of the room. Feeling that nice stretch in the back, in the ribs. Inhale, back to center, engage the core, and exhale, taking both hands to the left side, sitting up nice and tall with a straight spine, just gazing off to the diagonal or wherever your eyes can go comfortably. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1, and gently releasing back to center. Let's come up into our tabletop. So your knees should be hip distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart. So let's start off with a forearm stretch today. So you're going to rotate the wrists so that your fingers are pointing towards your knees. For some of us, our fingers may just be pointing to the sides of our mat, wherever is available to you. So really remembering in your practice, ahimsa, do no harm. Sanskrit word, it's one of our mantras in our yoga practice. We want to make sure we feel the tension and soften into it. So right at this point, this might be enough of a stretch. Really feeling that contradictory movement on our forearms. We use our arms a lot throughout the day. Perhaps if you're not feeling it so much, you can curl the toes under and then just 1 millimeter at a time, try to take your seat towards your heels. So it doesn't have to be a big movement. You want to just create a gentle stretch here. Breathe into it for 5. Soften your gaze. 4, 3. Feel that stretch going right up to your forearms. 2 and 1. And gently release the wrists to face forward. Perhaps just come to sit on your heels and rotate your wrists a few times. So you should feel a nice blood flow there in your forearms and wrists. Wonderful. Let's take a nice shoulder stretch. Knees still, hip distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart. Let's inhale the left arm up, gazing up to your fingertips. Exhale, sweep the left arm through, dropping your left shoulder and left ear down to the mat. Soften the right arm either in front of you, you can put it behind your back, or you can just drop the elbow down onto the forearm. So wherever gives you a deeper stretch, you can perhaps bring the fingertips up higher onto the mat. Feel the stretch through the upper back. Breathe here for 3, 2, 1, and gently come back into your tabletop, and we'll do this on the other side. Inhaling the right arm up. Take your gaze up to the sky, to the fingertips. Exhale, sweeping the right arm through, dropping your right ear down to the mat. And again, the left arm can come up closer to the top of the mat so you feel a deeper stretch to the back, or you can just soften the elbow onto your forearm and breathe here. Keep the core engaged, soften the hips down for 3. Maybe take the fingertips a little bit closer out towards the left side of the room. 1, and then coming up back into our tabletop. Let's do a little cat and cow, a little vinyasa, movement for our spine. Vinyasa means movement with breath. Curling the toes under to activate our toe joints. Inhale. Let the belly drop towards the mat, gazing upward. Long throat, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, rounding. Taking your gaze towards your navel. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, moving with our breath. Exhale, starting the rounding from the low back, allowing the neck to drop last, to look again at your navel. And just hold here, perhaps push the mat away with your palms to create a deeper arch in your cat. Wonderful. And then uncurling your toes, letting go of the wrist for just a moment. And then let's reconnect. And we're going to do our kneeling side planks. So rotating your right calf out and then extending the left leg to the edge of the mat. Let's inhale, engage the core. Exhale, sweep the left hand up, looking up to the sky or your left fingertips, lifting yourself up higher, letting your heart shine above. Engage here for 3, for 2, for 1. Gently bringing the hand back down, coming back into tabletop, rotating that right leg in. Beautiful. We're going to do the same thing, kneeling side plank on the other side. So bringing that left calf out, extending your right leg. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, sweep the right hand up. Lift yourself up higher. Feel a nice stretch through the side ribs. Your quad muscle is engaged. Breathe here for 3, for 2, 1. Dropping the hands back down, coming back into our tabletop, coming into a child pose. So bringing your hips or your glutes down to your heels, forehead to the mat, and just soften here for a moment. So remembering that your child pose is a beautiful posture to come back to if you feel like you need to take a break from our practice at any point, or Shavasana. And just take a nice couple of breaths. And remember, you can move your arms. You can move them beside you, in front of you, on stacked arms, whatever feels good to you. It's your child pose. Make it work for you. And then let's just come up 1 vertebra at a time, coming up into our tabletop again. Get ready for a little bit more of a warm up. We're going to engage our quads in some lunges. That always fires up the energy in our body. So making sure that you're engaging the tops of your knuckles to the mat so you're not putting so much pressure on your wrists. And then just scoot your toes back an inch to get ready for downward dog. Curling the toes under. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, lift your hips up. And then just walk your dog out as soon as you come into your first dog of this practice. You bend your right knee, your left knee. Feel the stretch along the calves. And then soften your gaze between your shins. Lift your hips up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Let the crown go. Let your head go. So we're going to do a few flows in our downward dog. You can always modify by going into tabletop. So let's inhale to high plank. Scooch those toes back. At this point, you can drop your knees down or stay in high plank, whatever's available to you. And we're going to come down into our chaturanga with our exhale and soften into baby cobra here. Inhale, baby cobra. Arms or hands lifted up slightly. legs glued together, and plant your palms. Exhale, come back into a tabletop or curl your toes under and back into a down dog. So remember, you can do that second flow all in tabletop if you prefer. Otherwise, here we go. Inhale, high plank, scooch those toes back. Keep the core engaged. As you're coming down, you exhale in your Chaturanga Dandasana, keeping your arms tucked in beside you. Come down into an up dog with your inhale. Kneecaps off the mat. Tops of your feet glued to the mat. Exhale, rolling over your toes, back to down dog. So just walk your dog here for a moment. We're going to get ready to go right into our lunges from our down dog. So we're going to inhale, engage the core, lift the right leg up. Exhale, lunge the right foot forward so it connects at the top of the mat. You might want to use your right hand to help scooch the right foot forward, and then drop your left knee down, uncurl the toes. So left ankle is aligned to the right ankle is aligned to the right knee. You're on your fingertips and your low lunge here. So let's just lunge forward a bit, kind of take a nice movement back and forth. Feel your hips hinging, and then just sink in a little bit deeper into your low lunge. Breathe here for 3. Enjoy that nice activation. We sit a lot, so this is giving some love, some tenderness to our joints for 2 and 1. And let's inhale, the hands to heart center. I'm going to do a little crescent. Exhale, drawing the palms up, micro bend in your crescent, being mindful of your low back. Inhale, the hands back to heart center, getting ready for a prayer twist. Exhale, twisting to the right, hooking your left elbow to your right knee, thumbs to sternum, and gazing to the side wall. Breathe here for 3, 2, 1. And let's draw our hands back down, curling the left toes under. We're going to get ready for a high lunge. Let's inhale, engage the core. Exhale, straighten that left leg back, drawing the arms up. Let's inhale, engage the core. Exhale, lunge the right knee. So if high lunge is not available for you, you can go right back to your low lunge by dropping the back knee down. Let's use our cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen the right leg, soften it, and then exhale, lunge the right knee and cactus your arms, opening up the heart center, gazing up slightly to the sky, and breathing here for 3. Feel the fire. 2, 1. Inhale the arms up, soften the right leg. Exhale, swivel your hands down and lunge the right foot back to down dog. Let's walk that out. Soften your breath. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Wonderful. And let's inhale the left leg up. Engage the core. Exhale, lunge the left foot forward. And drop the right knee down. If you need to heel toe the left foot forward with your left hand, you can do that to help yourself. And let's just uncurl the right toes and soften for a moment here. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and blow it out. Good. Let's just center ourselves. Find our softness, our calmness, our drishti. Our focus is on the mat right now. And we're going to just take a moment to move or hinge back and forth and just feel that hip joint. Give it that tenderness again. Good. And let's inhale the palms connected to the heart. Exhale, drawing it up to the sky and just micro bending it in our crescent here. Feel the stretch right down to your abdominals. Opening up your heart center for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, the hands back to heart center, getting ready for prayer twist. Exhale, twisting to the left, hooking your right elbow to your left knee, palms connected, thumbs to the heart, left elbow is reaching up to the sky. Perhaps your gaze is reaching up to the sky. Staying focused on your breath here for 3, for 2 and 1. Gently releasing the hands back to the mat. So remember, the option remains to stay in low lunge if high lunge is not somewhere you want to go today. So let's curl the right toes under. Inhale, engage the core, lifting the back leg up, and exhaling the arms up and bending the left knee or lunging the left knee. Soften those shoulders down. Inhale, lengthen, soften the left leg. Exhale, lunge. Draw those shoulders down. You want to open up the heart center, shoulders away from your ears. One more. Inhale, softening, lengthening. Exhale, cactus the arms, opening up the heart center. Smile, everybody. Feel your heart beating. And inhale, lengthening. Exhale, swivel the hands down. And then we're going to lunge the left leg back to down dog. Let's walk it out in our down dog here. And walk our feet up to the front of the mat. Grab onto opposite elbows. Let your head just sink with gravity. Let your crown come down and your hips rise up a little bit. Might bend your knees. Let your torso come closer to your thighs. Shake your head yes and no. Sway side to side. Do whatever you need to do to stretch out your back. And then take hold of your hips and gently come up one vertebra at a time, softening the toes, and your head will come up very last to come into mountain. Tadasana. So feet hip distance apart. Soften the hands down. Roll the shoulders away from your ears. Close your eyes and just listen to your heartbeat. Perhaps in your Tadasana, take your right hand to the left side of your chest to hear the thumping of your heart, the erratic nature of your breath, perhaps with those mild inversions that we just did, and the lunges that got our heart racing. So notice, are you holding on to any tension? Letting go of the right hand to move with gravity again. Wiggle your fingertips to remind yourself to say, soften. Bend your knees once to remind yourself to soften the thighs. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let it go. Again, inhale and release. These deeper releases are a reminder to us to let go. So we created tension and then we release and surrender and just soften. And our body will naturally and automatically realign. I repeat this in every single one of my classes. Our body is our ally. It's a reminder to myself too. It is set up so beautifully. It's there to be in harmony if we just allow it. So just take another breath here in Tadasana. Are you clenching your toes even? Are you digging them into the mat? Soften them, let them go. Wonderful. Opening your eyes gently. Let's get ready for a few more reclining practices, postures. If you want to take water at any point, please feel free to. We're going to start off with some salutations, going into some of our warrior series. So big toes touching, heels slightly apart. We're going to inhale, the hands up, palms connecting, looking up. Exhale, sweep or swan dive your hands to come beside your feet. And your knees are bent and your thighs are connecting to your torso. And you can perhaps lift your hips up slightly. Inhale, flat back. So here you're going to hold on to shins, knees, thighs, wherever it's available to you. For some of you, you can go right to the floor. And then exhale, fingertips come back down to the mat. And you just allow your torso to connect with the thigh again. Let's reverse this process. Inhale, reverse swan dive, the hands to connect, palms connecting. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center, just bending your head slightly in reverence. Good. Let's inhale the palms back up. Exhale, swan dive the hands beside your feet again. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands beside the feet. Let's take the right foot to 2 o'clock. So here we're getting ready for warrior one. You want to make sure you have heel to heel alignment. And let's inhale, engage the core. Exhale, lift the arms up bending the left knee. So draw your shoulders down. Make sure you can see your big toe. If you can't, heel toe it till you do. And open your heart. And let's inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lunging forward with the knee. So making sure you have your hips in one level or square. That right hip, if it's drawing back, bring it forward. And let's feel that nice stretch along the back calf. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Let's swivel our arms beside us. Heel toe the back foot. So it's parallel to the back of the mat for warrior 2. Let's inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, lunging forward. Both arms are in one line. That back arm sometimes drags. Connect the fingertips. Connect the biceps. Engage them. Good. Let's draw our hands behind us. So you can clasp your hands together if it's available. If it's not, you can grab onto opposite wrists. Open up the heart center. We're getting ready for humble warrior. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, swiveling or hinging forward, letting your head drop when it's as far as you can go. Perhaps reaching the arms up to the sky, allowing your heart to rise up and your ego, your crown, to lower down in humble warrior. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, use your breath to come back. And let's get ready for peaceful warrior. Palms flipping up. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, right hand to the back of the right leg. Left hand sweeping up to the sky. Perhaps you want to take your right hand to your left inner hip. Wherever it is, it's just gently sitting there. Keeping that lunge, breathe into it for 3. Feel the fire and energy for 2. Perhaps the shakiness for 1. Inhale, back up to your warrior 2. Soften your legs, hands to your hips. Heel toe the back foot, back to 2 o'clock. Square your hips, square your foot. Bend the right knee. Coming into Tadasana. Soften your face right away. Soften your eyes right away. Gentle reminders to yourself to let go of your fingertips, let go of your knees by bending them once and releasing. And then just soften your breath. If we could just stay here until we came back into our equanimous state, that would be wonderful. But we can take a couple of deep breaths to just remind us to soften. Let's inhale and let go. Again, inhale and releasing. Perhaps coming up onto our tippy toes and then the heels and balls of our feet to just kind of let go. Shake your wrists, and we'll do that all over on the other side. So let's connect our right foot to the mat, releasing the left foot to 10 o'clock. So if there's a clock in front of you, left foot is at 10, right foot is at 12. Hands to your hips, roll the shoulders away, really keeping a nice engaged square hip, level hip. Inhale, the arms up, soften the shoulders down, engage the core, and exhale, lunge the right knee forward. Again, open up the heart center, draw the shoulders away. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lunging forward. And breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Let's inhale. Exhale, cactus our arms, opening up the heart center here. Feeling the stretch in the back calf. And let's swivel our arms beside us. Heel toe the back foot so that it's nice and parallel to the back of the mat. Arms in one line, looking over your right fingertips. Unclench the right toes, just softly let them plant or firmly let them plant into the mat. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, lunge into your warrior 2. And breathe here. Open up the right knee towards the right pinky toe. We're going to get ready for our humble warrior. Grabbing our arms behind us, clasping them or taking opposite wrists, whatever is available. Rolling the shoulders away. Inhale, engage the core. And exhale, start letting your head drop towards your knee. Hinging at your hips, letting the arms come up to the sky, soften the head, letting go. Humble warrior, heart rising up above for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, use your breath to lift yourself up, extending your arms out. Inhale, flip the palms. Exhale, left hand gently takes the back, connects to the back of the left leg. Right fingertips up to the sky. Roll the shoulder away from your ear. Perhaps take the left hand to the right inner hip. Maintain that lunge wherever you are with that left hand. It's just gently positioned. Breathe here for 3. Feel the fire and energy for 2. 1. Inhaling back up to warrior 2. Exhale, soften the right knee, heel toe, the back foot. Back to 10 o'clock. Square the back foot. Bend the left knee. Coming up into Tadasana for just a moment. Soften the shoulders. Soften the knees. Draw your hands together to heart center. We'll wrap it up with a salutation. Inhaling, the palms up. Exhale, swan dive your hands beside your feet. Inhale, flat back, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, bending your knees, torso and thighs, fingertips to the mat. Let's inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes and just listen to your heart for a moment. Keep your face soft, keep your eyes closed. Perhaps take your feet hip distance apart if that's more comfortable. Take a nice inhale through the nose and exhale, let it go. One more inhale and release. Feel your heart softening, open your eyes. Let's continue with a couple more standing postures. We're going to do figure 4. So you're going to plant your left foot firmly into the mat. Take your right foot across or just above your left knee. Flex that foot, hands to heart center. So you don't want to be on top of your knee, just above the knee. Rolling the shoulders away, palms connected gently and mindfully. Engage the core. So here, really important to find your drishti, one spot to look at. Drishti is a Sanskrit word which allows calming of our nerves, our heart, our mind to really maintain our balance. So if you're good here, just practicing balance here, and if you're toppling out, that's okay too. Just keep coming back, find that drishti, find that calmness, that gentleness. Otherwise, if you want to come into the next variation, I invite you to inhale, engage the core, and exhale, gently starting to take your gaze to the mat, and your spine is nice and straight as you're just bowing in this figure 4, holding here for 3, micro-bending that left knee for 2, for 1, inhale, engage the core, exhale, just as gracefully, coming back up, releasing the right foot, and I encourage you to just soften the left toes, and close your eyes, draw your hands down, feel the energy that's activated on the left side. Just soften your knees once by bending them and releasing them. Feel the blood coursing. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, release it. And let's do that on the other side. So this time we're going to engage our right foot so it really connects to the mat. And we're going to take our left foot in a figure 4, just above our right knee. Roll the shoulders away. Draw your hands to heart center. Work on your balance here. Notice if one side is a bit more wobbly than the other. That sometimes happens. Let's inhale, lengthen our spine. And remember, this variation is just an invitation if you'd like to join. Exhale. Keep that core engaged. Start drawing your gaze towards the mat, as straight as spine as you can. Hands to heart center, remaining here for 3, keeping the core engaged. 2, 1, inhale, squeeze the core, exhale, come back up with your breath. Beautiful, releasing the left foot, softening the hands, and just coming into Tadasana. Perhaps bend the knees once, and just listen to the energy on the right side. Probably feels like there's a bit more balance as we just activated both sides. Let's take a nice deep breath in and let it go. Opening your eyes gently. Let's get ready for chair. Big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, coming down into a small chair. So you might want to make sure that both knees are in one line. You want to make sure that that right knee or left knee isn't jutting forward. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, sit a little bit deeper into your seat if it's available. And let's take a gentle twist. You're going to take your left hand to your back or your sacrum, right hand to the left knee, and simple twist, side twist here. See if you can sink a little bit lower into your chair. Feel the fire in the thighs. Breathe through it. Both knees are still joined together for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, the hands down for just a moment. Take a breath here. Inhale. Uncurl the toes on the mat if they're digging in. Let it go. Let's inhale, the arms up. Exhale, sit into a small chair again. Noticing both knees are in one line. Looking forward. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, take the left hand to the right knee and right hand to your back in a simple twist. Look at the side wall. Rotate that right shoulder away from you. Both knees are in one line. Breathe here for 3. Feel the fire for 2. Laugh it out or smile for 1. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale into Tadasana. Close your eyes. Take your right hand over your heart, left hand on top, and feel the gratitude. Feel the tenderness of your heart that may be thumping very, very hard right now from that simple, beautiful action. And just sink into it. Soften by inhaling and release. Letting your arms come right down. We'll offer a last standing posture with tree, one of my favorite postures of wellness. So let's connect that left foot, the 4 corners of your feet to the mat. Right foot can come right to your ankle. First variation, gentle, gentle tree. In our gentle tree, we have strength. We open our pelvis. We open the right knee as much as possible to create that opening in our hips. Roll the shoulders away, palms connecting together. If at home you feel like going into a higher variation of tree, by all means, just remembering not to place the foot on the knee. And calf, inner thigh, half loaded is fine. Let's inhale, the palms up. Exhale, open up your branches, soften the shoulders down. So here, just stay focused on your drishti, that soft space to sink into, to calm yourself. Left knee is micro bent. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Engage your core. Exhale, a little vinyasa, crescent or twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, tilt to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, perhaps close your eyes for just a moment. Just noticing that you might teeter-totter a little bit more than usual. Toppling trees are very acceptable. If you topple out, you come back to your breath, come back to the posture. Let's open our eyes, draw our palms together, back to heart center, releasing the right foot, uncurling the left toes gently, bending the knees, dropping your hands in Tadasana. So again, a reminder, as soon as you do that, soften, let gravity work with you. Just let go. Inhale through the nose and exhale, release. Gravity is also our greatest friend. We can use it to remind ourselves, just let ourselves melt towards the earth. Let's do that on the other side with our tree now. 4 corners of your foot rooting, sinking in. Tree is a beautiful posture of polarity. We root from below and receive energy from above. Drawing your hands to heart center, opening the pelvis, opening the knee. Inhale, the palms up. Exhale, opening up your branches. Soften that right knee, just gently microbend it. Drop the shoulders down. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Let's inhale, lengthen our trunk. Exhale, gentle tilt to the left. Or if you want to go deeper, that's okay too. Inhale, back to center. Keep that core engaged. Exhale, tilt to the right. Nice stretch through the lateral ribs. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, let's test our one of our senses of sight. Closing your eyes. Notice how everything just changes a little bit. Stay connected to your breath. See if you can stay rooted. And if you don't, non-judgmental practice, it's okay. We can come back to our breath and come back to the posture. So let's gently open our eyes, draw our palms back together, back to heart center, releasing the left foot in our final Tadasana of this practice, softening our hands down, bending our knees, letting go. Inhale and release. One more inhale and let it go. Let's take a deeper inhale, inhaling the arms up, and make whatever noise you want as you curl in. Let's do that again. Inhale, stretch, 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 and exhale, just let it go. Wonderful. Let's please come down to the mat for a mini Shavasana before we come into our reclining posture. So as you lay down, settle yourself into the mat, taking your feet perhaps wide apart, arms wide apart. Or if you need to bend your feet, bend your knees and connect your feet together, or bend your knees fully and connect the feet to the mat, whatever works for you to be comfortable in your Shavasana, soften into it. Let it go. And just absorb everything that we just did in our practice to this point. Shavasana is where we kind of reap what we just did and really absorb the energy. Without it, the practice wouldn't have quite the same benefits. So take a few moments to reconnect to yourself, reconnect to any intentions you may have set, perhaps reconnecting to that gratitude and tenderness I talked about through Pema Chodron's wisdom in the beginning, and come back to your own breath. We're not staying here long. We're going to do a few reclining postures before we come to our final breath work. Let's slowly wiggle our fingers and toes to reawaken. We'll take one deep stretch, inhaling, reach, reach, reach. Glutes and thighs tighten, jaw tighten, and exhale, let go. Let's bend our knees and wrap our arms around our knees to give ourselves a hug. So this is a nice opportunity for you to give yourself a nice self-massage. So you can take your hands to the tops of your knees and rock side to side, perhaps create some circles on your low back or sacrum, one way and then the other way. And if you bring your knees in really close to your chest and you rock side to side, you can massage the mid back, perhaps the upper back a little bit. Good. And then we're going to bring our knees to 90 degrees for a spinal twist. Arms come out into a T. Let's take a look at our right hand. Inhale, engage the core, and exhale, gently start moving your knees to the left side of the room. So you want to make sure both shoulder blades stay plugged into the mat and soften the knees to wherever they go. You should feel a nice stretch through your glutes and piriformis muscle. Let's inhale, engage the core, bring the knee back to center, legs at 90 degrees. Exhale, start dropping the knees to the right, look over to your left palm, and soften the knees wherever they land. And breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale the knees back to center. And then exhale, just remain here. Let's do eagle spinal twist. Right leg comes over the left. If it's available, you can bind by putting the right foot behind the left calf, but that's only if it's available. Let's inhale, squeeze the core. Exhale, start looking to your right hand and dropping the knees towards the left side of the room. So just a little variation in the spinal twist. Again, a nice stretch along the back glute area. Breathe through any tightness you might feel. Send some gentleness and opening there. Let's inhale, engage the core. Exhale, draw the knees back to the center. And let's Unravel the legs. Take the left leg over the right. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, dropping the knees to the right side of the room. Take a look at your left palm. Remember, both shoulder blades stay connected to the mat. So your legs go wherever is available to you today. And keep breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, draw the knees back to center. Unravel the legs. Give yourself another little hug here. Good. And continuing on our eagle theme, we'll do a abdominal core posture with reclining eagle. So knees still bent, arms up in the air. Let's take the right arm underneath the left, right leg over the left. Binding is optional. Inhale, engage the core. Exhale, lifting up to meet our elbows to our thighs. Hold here for 5, 4. Lift up higher if it's available for 3, 2. Keep that core engaged. 1. Soften the head down. We're just going to pulse for 1 set. So elbows to knees pulsing. Let's inhale, engage the core. Exhale. Let's start pulsing for 10, 9, 8. Make sure you're smiling throughout this whole set here for 5, 4. Keep that core engaged. Use those abdominals for 3, 2, 1. Release the head. Soften for a moment. Take a nice inhale and let it go. And let's unravel the arms, pointing up. Unravel the legs. Let's take the left arm over the right. Left leg over the right this time. Good. So even if you're just here today without doing core, you're doing some really great activation by binding your big joints, elbows, shoulders, knees. If you can't grab onto opposite wrists, sorry, I forgot to offer the other variation. You can grab onto opposite shoulders. Good. So let's inhale, engage the core. Exhale, lifting up to hold. Remember to keep breathing. Keep that core engaged for 5, 4. Loving this for 2, 1. Release the head. So last pumping set. So really get ready for it. Inhale, engage the core, and exhale. Here we go for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep smiling. Laugh it out if you have to. For 5, 4, 3. Loving it for 2, 1. Release into Shavasana. Make whatever noise you want to make. Maybe perhaps take your feet sole to sole. Lift your shoulders up. Draw your shoulder blades down. Let's flap your knees up and down. So if there's a lot of tightness in your hips today, you can soften by creating a diamond shape with your legs. And just flap the knees up and down a few times and then let gravity take over and just become still. Arms are perhaps far away from you, from the body, palms facing up. So a nice hip opener and heart opener here in our butterfly Shavasana. Take a nice inhale through the nose and exhale, let it go. One more inhale and release. Softening, good. Let's get ready for our happy baby. So spine from neck right down to the base is settled into your mat. Feet are facing the sky or your ceiling. You're bending your knees to come closer to your body. Your core is engaged. Take your hands to the outside of your feet, edges of your feet. Your elbows are connecting to your shins or the insides of your knees. You can perhaps take your knees further, wider apart. Try to draw your knees in closer to your chest. Arms are taut, chin is slightly tucked in. Base of your spine is connected to the mat. And just soften here for a moment. Inhale and exhale, letting it go. Let's swivel side to side in our happy baby. So this is a beautiful movement for our spine, for our internal organs. We're squeezing them, detoxifying them, and we're just a happy baby coming back to this ancient posture. So let's inhale, engage the core. Exhale, bring our knees a little bit closer to our body, feeling the nice stretch along the hamstrings perhaps. Good. Bring our feet together, knees together, Give yourself a nice squeeze. Taking your hands behind your thighs, we're going to rock and roll along the length of our spine. So do this a few times to give your back a nice massage and to create momentum to try to come up into a seated position, cross-legged, facing me again. As we're winding down our practice today, we'll come to our final seated twist, legs extended, left foot against right knee. You can perhaps draw that right leg in if it's available, only if both sit bones stay connected to the mat. If it's not available, keep the leg extended. And if the full spinal twist is not available, you can just do a seated chair pose, wherever you go, as long as we give a little twist to our spine. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale it behind you like a second spine. And you're on your fingertips like a tripod. Shoulders are in one line. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, twist to the left, allowing the right elbow to connect to the left knee. And you're creating a stop sign looking at the side wall. Or alternatively, you can just hug that left knee if it's not available for you to twist a little deeper. Let's inhale, lengthen the spine, squeeze the core, exhale, twist the mid back. Again, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist the upper back. And for some of us, we can maybe perhaps take our gaze towards the back wall. If it's not going there today, that's okay. Just keep it to wherever it feels comfortable. Offering so much tenderness and so much gratitude to our spine that works for us, sending messages along it all day long. And let's counter twist to the right. Take this stretch to wherever it feels comfortable to you. Nice stretch for your back. And let's unravel to do the other side. So again, each side is different. You want to take the right foot against the left knee, perhaps curling in if it's available. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale it behind you like a second spine. Shoulders are in one line. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, twisting to the right or grabbing around your knee. And keep that spine nice and lengthy, elongated. Let's inhale, lengthen the spine again, squeeze the core, exhale, twist the mid back. So your shoulders are moving away from each other in one line. Inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, twist the upper back. A little fun fact, our spine is one of the first things that forms while we're in utero. And there's a lot of magical things that happen along our spine. So it's nice to give it some attention. And if it's available, you gaze at the back wall for a few breaths here. And gently counter twist to the left. And if you'd like to take your head right down to the mat, by all means do so, whatever feels good to you. Coming up into seated cobbler. We're going to give a little bit more of a stretch to our spine. So you're going to open up your feet like the pages of a book. Perhaps again, you can create a diamond if there's a lot of tension and the knees are lifted up really high. If it's available for you to bring your feet closer to your seat, by all means do so. And then just lift up your glutes and try to see if you can connect your sit bones to the mat by just teeter-tottering on them side to side. Good. And then flapping your knees up and down. So this is a posture with a lot of tension. So shoulders down, arms taut. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, hinge forward with a straight spine. So you want to make sure that there's no rounding in your spine. Again, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, hinge forward. Perhaps for some of you, you might be able to use your elbows to open up the knees. And some of us may just be upright today, and that's okay. We're trying to move with our breath, and even if there isn't a visible movement, there's an energetic movement. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale. One final breath to move yourself, soften yourself. It may just be a millimeter, it might be a centimeter, or maybe just exactly where you are, where you need to be today. and then just let go. Soften the head, soften the knees, soften your feet. Just take your thumbs and perhaps massage the bottom of your feet, offering them some gratitude for supporting you all day long. And then take your chin right down to your chest to allow your neck to get a nice stretch. Perhaps take your chin to the left shoulder, your chin to the right shoulder, turning your head side to side. Our neck holds up our heavy crown all day long, offering it a little bit of a break and gratitude also. Let's close our feet, close our knees, give ourselves a hug by wrapping our arms around our knees, and then coming into our Shavasana. So just laying down again on the mat in whatever posture feels good to you. So your Shavasana in your way that creates you to just surrender, allowing your feet to melt into the mat. Let the edges of your feet go to the edges of the mat. Soften each single toe. Soften the calves. Soften the thighs. Perhaps lift up your hips and let the low back connect to the mat, the sacrum connect to the mat. Perhaps lift up your heart and let the shoulder blades connect to the mat. Soften your forearms, your upper arms. Soften your shoulders. Each single fingertip is letting go. You're letting go at the smallest cell level. We'll stay here for a few minutes in our Shavasana. Notice if your face is letting go. Soften the jaw and gently release your teeth to be slightly apart. Let go of the tongue from the palate. Your eyes are closed very gently as you're looking inward. And most importantly, we soften our mind. We let go of our thoughts and just stay connected to the ebbs and flows of our breath. Just notice if the thoughts do come in, and if they distract, we welcome them and then we turn our thoughts back to our breath. So that's the practice. It's this kind of back and forth. We might get distracted, and that's okay. We let go and we come back. We turn back inward. So remain laying there for a few minutes in your Shavasana in silence, tuning back into any intentions that you may have set for your practice, tuning back into the energy that you may have directed either toward yourself or to another loved one. And perhaps coming back to the wisdom that I offered at the beginning of the class by Pema Chodron, a Tibetan Buddhist nun, and she says, there are no promises. When we are training in the art of peace, we are not given any promises that because of our noble intentions, everything will be okay. In fact, there are no promises of fruition at all. Instead, we are encouraged to simply look deeply at joy and sorrow, at laughing and crying, at hoping and fearing, at all that lives and dies. We learn that what truly heals is gratitude and tenderness. Tapping into any feelings of gratitude that you may have as you're laying there in your Shavasana, gratitude that your body could move with you today, gratitude that you were able to create space to come into this practice. Slowly start wiggling your fingers and toes to awaken yourself to the mat. And perhaps rotate your wrists and ankles in circular motions. One way a few times, and then counter circling the other way a few times. And let's inhale our arms high up above us. One of our simplest, most profound stretches, but it really creates a beautiful opening. Feel the thighs tighten, glutes tighten, face, jaw, kneecaps lift up. And with your exhale, let go. Just completely let go. Coming back full circle, let's rotate over into our fetal. Right arm extended, our head pillows onto the right arm, left hand comes to the mat beside us, closing your eyes, bending your knees slightly. Just take a nice couple of deep breaths here. And then gently using your left hand to help lift you up into a seated posture. It's wonderful to know that you're out there sharing energy with me today. And there's something profound about moving together. So let's take one last breath together in unity, because we are all one and the same. Inhale through the nose and breathe it out through your mouth. My wish for you today is that you can take the wellness that you cultivated on the mat today back out into the world, wherever you may be going. My gratitude to you for sharing in this practice today. And I am always honored, and it's a privilege to guide a practice. I wish you wellness, I wish you peace, and I'll seal the practice off with a Sanskrit word, which means the light in me recognizes and honors the light in all of you. Namaste. Thank you for tuning in today, everybody.